Alright, so let's start with the Google form. Now, this is a questionnaire that I have here to show to us how to create a questionnaire, right? Okay, so this is I'm online, and all you need to do is just type Google form. I've logged into my Google Gmail account right now, so that's what you're going to do. So when you're done logging in, if you're doing that for the first time, you have to sign up. Or if you're doing that if you have an account already, just sign in, and you will have this interface. Okay, so these are the forms template you can use, or you can just work with any one. Let's just work with this assessment. Alright, so this is what I'm going to work with for this class. And so let's assume that this questionnaire, let me see the questionnaire. The title is psychological stress. So I just type psychological stress, and its coping mechanisms. Okay. Alright, so no, I didn't say something. For every questionnaire, there's something we call the informed consent. Informed consent. You just want to inform people about what your project is all about, why they should be part of the project, and what you would use with the project. So it's just to give a brief summary of what your project is all about and why you need people to participate in the project. So that's what we write here. So that's what we write. Just write it there. Okay, so after you're done with that, then we can then start. Remember, I said the first section will always be your social demographic. Okay, so can you say that the first section is also the social demographic? Alright, so for this, we're following the template. This is the name. So if the first thing I feel you should write out should be the serial number. So for every questionnaire, you should name it. You should name that questionnaire so that it will be easy. Alright, so then email, we don't need email here, so you just follow this questionnaire. The next thing we should come up with now is the age, so you can decide to write it in full. What is your age? Okay, so we go down. Alright, so in some cases, we can decide to, give the age, we can decide to put it in brackets. Alright, I don't know if you can see this. This is short answer. Then since I'm interested in multiple choice, so I'll just give multiple choice here. Alright, so that can give me there's some cases that you're just interested in the range of the age. So we can just do something 0 to 19. Then the second one will be 0 will be 20 to 39. Then like that, 40 to 59. Depending on what you're trying to do. Or if you're not interested in option, you just give it a short answer, okay? Alright, so the next question here is what? Marital status. So you can say something like, what is your marital status? Question mark. Alright, so for this would also have an option. Alright, so this should have an option. I'm trying to check where this should go. Alright, let me just delete this that we can move. So this as I think it's just a template that. So let's use this. Sorry. Alright, so let's use this. Let's say, what is your marital status? Okay. So for this, since this is in the multiple choice already, if it was not just, you see a button here and anything you want to do. But for this, we are just in a multiple choice. If we're interested in short answer, just click on short answer. So for this, would follow this. Remember, for this question, this questionnaire, the first should be single. Alright, so the levels, alright. So you write single, and the next one will be married. Then the next one will be diverse. Then like that. Okay, so we'll keep moving until you're done. Until you're done filling. So I want to show us something. Right, so this is the continuation of this questionnaire, and let me assume that Alright, so let me assume that we are done with that questionnaire and we want to continue from here. So we'll just say what is just keep doing all that. What is your occupation? Okay, this also has options, so you just click on the multiple choice. Alright, for this housewife, just write out all the options. Enter. Next one, student. Enter. Civil servant. Just like that. Okay, that's all about this. Now there are some questions that are conditional, and that's what I want to show us. Alright, so looking at this, let me see if I can bring it up. Alright, looking at this, number 16 says, have you heard about conception care? And then the question is either yes or no. Now, when you that's on research that. For example, for knowledge, when you want to assess people's knowledge, you're supposed to assess their awareness level. So awareness level has to do, you want to know if people have heard about that thing. So for example, if you have not heard about COVID-19, you can't expect me to have a knowledge about it. So awareness and knowledge are quite different. Awareness is like, I've heard about it. Knowledge is, I know it. So the first question you should always ask in your knowledge section is, have you heard? Which is under your awareness level, but it's always compiled together with your knowledge section. So the first question is, have you heard about conception care? If the person says no, that shows that for your other questions in the next stuff, in this next question, yeah, the person cannot know it. Can you see the person just thinking, I don't know? Can you see, I don't know, because the person does not even have awareness about it. Alright, so for this kind of question, let's say you want to include this in your questionnaire. Have you ever utilized, okay, let me just say, have you ever heard about preconception care? Okay, so now for this, remember I said this is a multiple choice, just click on this. Let's write yes or no. Yes, no. Okay, so now you will then come here. This stuff is not showing, it's not allowing me to show you this. I don't know what to do. Okay, alright, so you will click on this and you will see different this. So go to section based on answer. Can you see this? Go to section based on answer. So it's going to ask you, what do you want? Now remember we said that if they are saying yes, that shows they have an awareness about this topic, and then they can go to the next section. But if they are saying no, there's no need for them to go to the next section. So for this question now, what do we do? If you're thinking yes, go to the next section. That's all we're going to do. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. Okay? So if you're thinking yes, go to the next section. No. If you're thinking no, submit form. Can you see? It's so easy. It's so easy. Submit form. Okay. So that is that about that, and that is what I really wanted to show us. It's so important. So this same thing, you're going to repeat it for all the questionnaire. Alright, depending on how many pages of the questionnaire you have. Okay. So it's so easy. Alright, so that's all I have to show us in this Google form video. Google form, how to create questionnaires via Google form. Now let me quickly show us how to use the Kobo toolbox. I believe you understand. And that same thing that I used for the conditional, to condition your, you can use it for anything depending on what you want to achieve from your research. I believe you understand. It's so easy. Okay, I think I would like to show you something. When you're done, you might want to after you, this is how to send, this is how to share your questionnaire. Just click on this. Can you see? This is the form, and shorten the URL here. Can you see what you left with? And just copy and send it to anybody. Alright. Then after you're done, you can, okay, I didn't show us something too, which is very, very important. You can decide to change this thing. This one it's part of the same thing, but you're supposed to put something relating to the research, maybe a logo or something relating to the organization that's conducting the research. So you can come here, go to presentation, come here, and this is where you can do that. Just upload and download. Alright, so you can decide to just upload depending on what you want to do. And this is also where you can change the font. This is also where you can change the font of your, can you see? You can change the color, you can change the background, then you can also change the font. But I would say that when you're doing formal work, make it formal, okay? Alright, so that is that about that. So let's go to Kobo toolbox. For this Kobo tool, you have to create an account. I think I have an account already. Give it one time. Okay, so you will just sign in. Shows us. Can you see? I have an account already. If you don't have, you can also create an account. I have an account already. That's why just create an account and make sure you don't use the humanitarian. Just use the that shows us create an account. Alright, so this is where you're going to have if you're creating an account, okay? Just the name, organization, username, email, just do all that, and then you have your account, and then you can then log in here. This is mine. Alright, so for these are the forms I've done before, but just because of this class, I will be starting from the beginning, and I click on new. I just say create from scratch. Alright, so it's asking me for the title of my project. I will just say psychological stress. psychological stress. And remember, I talked about that informed consent, so you can just write it here. Just give us a description about what you want to do: psychological stress and coping mechanisms. Okay. Alright, so click on this and then create a project. Country. This is a bad So let's say a research on students' stress. Just click on it. Alright, so after you've filled this form, Nigeria, public admin, this is just an example, depending on what you want to do, then you should okay. I think I have that already. Alright, so research work, conduct a research work on data analysis, and also just then you say okay, so it comes to form. Alright, come to form and try, just click on this and then we start. So let's go to the last one. Alright, so let's start also here. So it has even given us a hint already. So what's your age? So your int can be age at last birthday for people, so that people don't feel okay. So can you say what's your marital status already? So we can just say you don't need to put an int there. Alright, so you